Hello everyone, it is great to see you here once again on Dee's Delights. We are still in pie week. Today we're going to make coconut cream pie. Now I have not made this before. I have eaten coconut cream pie, but I've never taken the time to make it. So this is a first for me, so hopefully I do okay. If you guys have some helpful suggestions on ways to make this better, please let me know. What you're going to need for this is 1 pie crust. For a coconut topping, you're going to need 1/2 cup of flaked sweet coconut, and we're going to toast that here shortly. For the coconut custard, you're going to need 1½ cups of canned coconut milk, not the type in the box because that's a little more water. This is canned coconut milk. I found this in with like Chinese food and stuff at the grocery store. Now this is unsweetened. I think you can use sweetened or unsweetened. 1½ cups of half and half. 5 egg yolks, 3/4 cup sugar, 4 tablespoons cornstarch, 1 tablespoon butter, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1½ cups of flaked sweetened coconut, 1½ teaspoons of vanilla, and some whipped cream. I will be using Cool Whip. Prepare your pie crust according to the instructions. Whether you're using store-bought or homemade, which we made in another episode, I will be using a homemade pie crust. So for the coconut topping, go ahead and put 1/2 cup of the sweetened coconut on a cookie tray. I'm using 3/4 cup just in case I need a little extra. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And we are going to just bake that in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes or until the coconut just starts to brown. I'm going to start with 8 minutes just to play it safe, and I might even check it a little sooner than that. So next, let's go ahead and pour coconut milk in half and half into a liquid measuring cup. Add yolks and whisk together. Set aside. It's 1½ cups of half and half and 1½ cups of coconut milk, and this is probably 1½ cups right here. It's about 13 ounces, we'll see. Tell you what, you're gonna have to whisk your coconut milk around. Looks like the solid separated from the liquid. Let's make sure this is good. Yep. Now it's turning into milk. That was pretty scary looking when I first opened it up. I have to be honest, I have never used coconut milk before, as I'm sure you saw by the horrified look on my face. But now it looks like milk, a nice thick milk. Jeez. It's like, what is this? So I'm going to add the half and half to my coconut milk, and then also add the 5 egg yolks, which I'm just going to beat those up a little bit before I add them. Remember, egg yolks, not the whites. Then we're going to set this aside. Add sugar and cornstarch to a heavy bottom saucepan over medium-low heat. So we'll add our 3/4 cup of sugar and our 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, which is 1/4 cup. I'm going to mix that together first. Oh, for the love of goodness. Tell you what, it's good there was a timer going. I totally forgot about the coconut. The timer even annoyed me. I got my coconut just a little bit too brown, I think. But I'll tell you what, it's going to have to do. We'll see. Oh well. It'll be okay. It's definitely brown, but it's not burnt. I thought, what the heck is that going off for? I don't even have anything in the oven. That's what happens when you get older, folks. You can forget things a few moments after doing them. All right, well, it looks pretty darn good. It's a little brown. Thankfully, I didn't set it for 10 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and turn our pot to medium-low. Go ahead and whisk your mixture together one more time. And we're slowly gonna add it to our sugar and cornstarch. After a while, we'll switch over to a wooden spoon. Okay, so we're going to want to bring this to a boil. We're going to want to stir this constantly. I think I might have to turn this up a little bit to bring it to a boil. Okay, I think I hear signs of it coming to a boil. Let's hope it does. I'm tired of waiting. Okay, it's starting to come to a boil now. Continue stirring. Let's let it boil for 1 minute. All right. Next, remove it from the heat. We want to add the butter, which is 1 tablespoon. Let that melt a little bit. So in essence, we've just made a coconut pudding. Do you know, I can't find coconut pudding in the store lately. Not sure what's going on with that. Okay, my butter's just about melted. Add your 1½ cups of coconut, your 1½ teaspoons of vanilla, and your 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so now that I actually have a baked pie crust, I'm going to, and it's cold, I am going to put my filling in there. Then we'll put it in the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes. Cover it up with plastic, just lightly cover it up. And off to the fridge it goes, 35 to 45 minutes. And I'll be back shortly to top it. This stuff is fantastic. My one daughter can't stand coconut. It's not the flavor. It's not the flavor she doesn't like, it's the texture. She just doesn't like the texture. That's good. I'll see you shortly. Alrighty, time to unwrap the pie. It's set up. I'm gonna go ahead and put Cool Whip on. It says whipped cream. Cool Whip's gonna have to do. You can put on as much as you want. I'll probably use about half of a tub, an 8-ounce tub. Then top it with your toasted coconut. And of course you'll want to store this in the fridge. Just in case you didn't know that. Don't want to assume. I don't know if I'm going to use the whole ½ cup or not. I don't think it's necessary. Well, as a matter of fact, remember I did 3/4 cup. So probably a half is sufficient. If you slice this into 8 servings, it has about 500 calories in. And I'm so thankful I remembered to bake the pie crust. Don't forget to do that. It's good. The longer it sits in the fridge, the better. I'd let it sit in the fridge for a few more hours before serving it, even though I can eat it like this. So I'm going to cover it up, let it sit in the fridge overnight, and I think you'll like it. Easy peasy. Doesn't get much easier than that, unless you buy it at the store. So thanks for joining me here once again on Dee's Delights, and I hope you have a fabulous week. See you soon. Okay, I almost forgot, we're gonna have to bake the pie dough. So what they call is a blind bake. So what you're gonna wanna do is have your chilled pie dough. I'm gonna put parchment paper in here. It says they make weights for this, or you can use beans. I'm gonna use a little bit of sugar. You're gonna preheat your oven to 375 degrees. I'm gonna weigh that down. And you're gonna bake it for 15 minutes. Then we're gonna take it out, and I'll tell you what to do next. Let's go ahead and take the parchment paper and the sugar out. Go ahead and poke some holes all around. Pop it back in the oven for another 14 to 15 minutes.